Okay, so when we do our setup for an experiment today, okay, and we're going to set up an experiment to prove it. So the focus question was, is there water vapor in the air? How could we prove it? You are going to set up an experiment to prove it today. And I need you to keep in mind our conversation yesterday about teams versus groups. It is my job to put you into groups. It is your job to make that group a team. What I heard yesterday about the difference between groups and teams is teams are more fun. Teams work together better. Teams work together to accomplish a goal. Okay, and the sociological word for it is being in the flow. So when you're in the flow, when your team is in the flow, like things are working really well. So that's your goal for today. So what we're going to do today is written over here on the board in order. So 0.5, sorry, that was added later. I'm going to have you read the team work rubric here. And I want you to focus on the left-hand column because that's where you want to be. That's what you want your team to be working at. All right, you've got this. Now, for you as an individual, specifically what I want your team to be able to do in order to help your team work better is you're going to focus on this cooperation on a team category. And it says the team and discussion were better because I was on the team. So you need to be thinking, how can I make my team better? The rest will fall into place. So first you're going to read through this when you get into your teams. Okay? And then on this paper that you have here, you're going to continue down. First, you're actually going to write step number 1. You're going to write 1, numbered step-by-step plan, and you're going to underline it. And then underneath that, your team is going to define your plan. You're going to lay it out step by step, and you're going to be as detailed as possible. You know, the stars aligned this week, and in language arts, you were talking about, what's it called? Technical writing. Here's your practice piece. Only I'm grading you on this, okay? I'm going to evaluate your technical writing for this experiment. Damn. With me? Yep. Okay. So you will actually write number 1, numbered step-by-step plan. You will underline it, right? And there should be a good amount of discussion on your team about how you're going to work your experiment. What are you going to do for your experiment? And you need to discuss, okay, first we're going to do this. Number 1, write it out. Second, we're going to do this. I need you to write the same thing as the rest of your group. So go slowly and make sure everyone has the same thing written. All right? Once you have that, will you please wave me down? Okay, I want to check that list over. If I ask you questions, I will expect you to answer them in your procedure. Okay, so if I say, how are you going to do this? How will you make sure this? Don't you think you might need this? You need to write that in your plan. I'll walk away and I'll either say, I'll come back, or I'll say, once you do that, you're good to go. Then you can go ahead and write on your paper number 2, diagram, and underline those words, and then you can do your diagram. If your team prefers to write things out before, like practice, that's what the whiteboards are for. Okay, use your whiteboards as a team and sketch things out or list things out and then copy it from your whiteboard to your paper. Okay, so just make sure you're writing those steps and underlining it, but don't write it until you're done with the next step. So you'll diagram it, you'll list materials. Right here, the other classes have added some materials that they plan to use. And so these are ideas. You may not use all of these materials. You don't have to, but this is here for your ideas. Only list the materials you intend to use in your experiment. Okay? And then you're going to write number 4, how will you collect data? And then you will underline it, and then underneath these words, you're going to set up charts or tables. You're going to lay it out so you can record data right onto this paper. And then you're going to write number 5, predict what you expect to see. And you're going to underline it, and then you're going to write your prediction. Then you're going to write number 6, get approval, and I will initial next to those words when you're ready to move on to your experiment. It's a lot to do today. I expect you to probably get halfway through that, and then we'll take 15 minutes and finish up tomorrow, and we'll begin our experiment. So your experiment should be able to run within half an hour. If you need to let it sit for a day, the setup needs to take half an hour, and then you can check it the next day. Just some ideas for you. Are there any questions about this procedure? No? Okay, so I'm going to put you into groups of 3. Hang on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're all here. So we'll have 5 groups. Questions, sir?
Are we doing it on a? Can we do it on a? Like write that down on a loose piece of paper?
You should just continue right underneath your focus question answer. Yep, that same paper. If you run out of room front and back, just grab another piece of loose paper. If you find that you want to do a data collection chart on graph paper, go ahead and grab a graph paper that's 3-hole punch and just insert it into that spot in your lab binder. Great question. Okay. So who has a birthday in February? Raise your hand. Okay, March. Keep your hand raised. You have a birthday in March. April? May? Okay, so we're going to do 1, 2, 3. Okay, go ahead and stand up, take your things, and go somewhere else. Okay, Addie, keep your hand raised. June. She's got a birthday in June. July. August. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Grab your things and go somewhere else. So that was August. September. Go stand together, please. Go stand together, please. September. October. November. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Grab your things and go stand somewhere else.
Y'all want to stand over here?
That'd be great. September. October. November.
You already said those.
Yeah, you're on December.
December. Holy buckets. Okay. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, and then December. So we got 1, 2, 3. Yep. Okay. So get with your groups and begin with 0.5. Y'all come and sit behind the table for your group and have a seat.
Just run. You just want me to choose a group?
Let me see where the groups are settled. Please don't begin, but get seated. Here we go.
Participating.
Let's see. Hang on a second. Let's do this group.
Yeah, we remember this one.
Yeah. If we place it here, will that work? All right. Go ahead and begin. 0.5.
Okay, so what was your plan? What's your plan? Hold on. Cheers. There we go. Right now. Cheers, look at the camera. Okay. So, participating in class discussion, asking questions, paying attention, questions, or no lab safety precautions. Discussion better because you're on the team. You're detailed enough to prove you fully understand the activity and goals. You kept at it. You asked questions if you didn't understand. You look for ways to make your better. Your errors, you used all of your time to keep better. Keep getting better.
Oh, okay. What was your plan? What do you think you wanted to do?
I'll say this. There's water vapor in the air because if there wasn't water vapor in the air, the air, it wouldn't rain, snow, hail, or etc. On the earth, you would be working so, yeah, it wouldn't rain or snow or hail, basically.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to hear you on this, so make sure you're speaking. Could you like bring your chair in and then I can kind of adjust it that way, maybe? That will work. Okay. Yeah, just want to make sure it doesn't fall out.
But yes, you could get a tarp or any thin blanket of that and tie it up the right way so it's not wind like. So like we get like a clear plastic like tarp, really thin, and then we could like tie it up high, kind of maybe. I don't know how high. And like tie it pretty good so like the wind doesn't mess with it. And then so I could collect some water substance, like the water substance. Yeah. Like take a bowl and put some water in it. And because it would be windy, so we couldn't collect the water. Then we could put like a heat lamp on top of that. So. What did you think? Basically what I said. Yeah. So, yeah. That's what we could do. Let's think of step-by-step plan. What's the stuff we need? So we're gonna need a heat lamp, string to tie the tarp off, thick or like kind of like a thin rope. Yeah. Clear, thin or thick rope? Thin. Clear, thin tarp. And do you want? So aren't we doing this outside? Yeah. I'm gonna look at it. Perfect idea. So there's the monkey bars. Yeah. And you know how those you put that on top. We could do that, or you could tie it to the bottom. Yeah, sure, something like that. So let's try the. We can draw a diagram. So, I'm gonna play around. Okay, we could tie them. We could tie it to like poles around it. So tarp, string. And then we could have the heat lamp in the middle. That don't look too appropriate.
That'll work. That'll be for real hot. Dude, you can put that in the stove and it'll stay cold.
Will we put it in the middle, or what would you? I think middle would be the best. Yeah.
And that'll keep it, dude. That'll keep it hot for like hours.
So you know what the graph is?
And then
Summer's gonna be one
there'd be any.
Okay, but wait. Where is your one numbered step-by-step plan? Please erase that. You're not on step number 2. I said I want you to do step number 1 by actually listing, like writing those words, laying out your plan step by step, writing it down. Get my approval before you go on to diagram. So please write number 1.
Get materials.
Step-by-step plan. I want you to write those words on your paper and underline it. So write number 1, step-by-step plan. And then write number 1. We're going to do this. And when you finish that, wave me down. Okay. So now under here, you're going to write 1.
Like number 1, gather materials, of course.
Here, go ahead and underline these words. Okay, go ahead and underline these words. And then Justin, they said, gather materials.
So, gather materials. Then we'd have to tie the tarp to the monkey bars. You want to do it? Should we lay it on top? Top. Yeah. So tie tarp to monkey bars. No, tie tarp. So tie tarp to the top of monkey bars. But you know,
It looks like a thing.
the heat lamp. Dad might have to go on it, but where are you thinking about putting heat lamp? In the middle of the park?
Not like I was thinking about having like a thing of water, having the heat lamp next to it, it would kind of heat up the water, and then the water would kind of collect on the top.
Oh yeah.
It would collect on the bottom.
So we'd need a bowl. We would need a bowl. Okay, so fill bowl, cold or hot?
Probably be
The best one. So get bowl. Get a small bowl. How big? Like, are you just thinking of like a little bowl? Yeah. So
nothing too big.
I'm not gonna. Yeah.
Maybe something about the size of this.
Okay, so get bowl of hot water, warm water. We're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Can I go get my locker? Show to find out what it is. It's a big one. Yeah, but we need it. Yeah, I know.
Park has a knockoff.
We need
Yeah.
it though. I need to know what it looks like.
She needs to see the
Because we
size
gotta
of
put
it.
it. We gotta put it bigger. It's bigger than that. It's bigger. What's bigger? Because it needs.
Okay.
Four
Place heat lamp to the side.
to the side of the bowl.
Because I have one thing wrong. Coffee powder. Bring water. Pour it into a glass type container. Coffee type container.
But we'd need a heat lamp that has like a battery in it, so like we don't have a huge extension cord.
Hold on. I'm gonna take a look how far we
That'd be a long extension cord.
can heat it up somehow. You can heat it up, and then the water vapor comes up on the.
That probably.
Alright.
That beast.
Okay. So would that fit a cup inside of it?
Oh, yeah, well, look at that.
Yes, it
Oh,
would.
yeah. Yeah.
Alright, so what's your question?
So do you know if they make like a heat lamp that's like a battery powered instead of like an extension cord?
I don't know. Tell me what you're thinking.
So like we want to put the monkey bars out there on the playground.
Yeah.
We were gonna put a tarp on top of it.
Okay.
Tie the tarp off like really tight so it like the wind won't like mess with it.
Okay.
Then we were gonna get like a decent sized like bowl or like of warm water. And then we were gonna put a heat lamp by it. So when the water vapor comes out, it collects on the tarp.
Literally no space. If we heat it up with the coffee,
Could I ask you to consider making your experiment a little bit smaller so it fits inside the classroom?
You might be able to do that too.
Instead of a tarp, is there some other collection you could put over a container of water that would collect water on top of it?
You could get like a Ziploc bag out it.
So a Ziploc bag?
We could grab like a plastic bag. I could cut a circle out of it.
Yeah. Okay, we could get a freezer
Even
bag.
if it was a big enough Ziploc bag, couldn't you put the container of water in the Ziploc bag?
Oh yeah. And then set it by the heat lamp.
Yeah.
And set it by the heat lamp? Start writing this down. Talk it through so you all read the same thing.
So
what's on
basically,
So we gotta
we can get rid of two. You don't need to get rid of everything.
I'm gonna make So gather materials.
Yep.
Get
Oh,
bowl of warm
You get the circumference
sliders.
of this.
Place bowl of water in a Ziploc bag.
We can get like a little glass.
Yes, try ice has no water.
You cannot make a hot ice cube.
Yeah. Logan, you can't melt dry ice.
You can't make hot ice cube.
Logan, it's impossible to make
We need it.
Get a bowl of warm water.
Place bowl of water in a Ziploc bag. Place
You cannot
heat
make a
lamp
hot ice cube. Logan,
by bowl of water and zip
ice equals cold. Actually, it equals dry or freezing. This was right.
Okay.
Oh, we gotta get a cup.
Would that be it?
yeah.
Yeah.
So we gotta draw the diagram.
Yeah. We
Then we
gotta,
can talk about it.
It's dry.
So
but we gotta get this dry first.
when we're done with this stuff, we get
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's either dry.
I can't get dry ice.
No, he doesn't need it. He was like,
get ice, but I can't get.
no, he was like telling us like he's like you just need a hot ice cube, but like the point of ice is that it's gonna be freezing or it's not gonna be hot, and freezing means cold.
Get off from back there and have a seat and write your plan. We're trying to find out our plan.
Okay, so
We already know our plan.
we should do.
We're just trying to find out
And
what's up.
Yeti.
and then it makes.
Get the Yeti.
Yeah,
Then we make
okay, so what I'm
rain.
saying is that we figure out where freezing is.
No, because we can't have the Yeti inside of it because the Yeti will keep that cool.
Point is, okay, this is your freezer. In the freezer is going to be a cup of some spice. It is going to be filled just like water is going to be on it. It's not going to be with water. It's going to be water drops all over it.
Okay, we have 15 minutes.
And then it's going to be on the inside too. And if you freeze it,
Answer the question. No, but we
Oh,
need
you
to
can
get
just
this
prove
right.
off.
and then when you take your frozen cup out of freezer, then you're going to take
Yeah, one step.
I know.
Second step.
I bet
This.
and you're going to
Third
put,
step.
you're also have
I
a
up to this
cup
step.
of your coffee pot. I'll bring it tomorrow. Coffee pot. Coffee.
Are you guys ready to get your steps started?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have double some spaghetti.
Well, no, I don't think yet, because we don't know if we're gonna use this video. Okay, so coffee equals boiling. You're gonna pour it.
I don't know if it's something that we needed to
It's
keep.
boiling.
I'm not
You're
sure
gonna
about
put it.
that. Okay, that I wasn't sure about too.
Hot coffee.
Harold, there's a guy outside of you. Harold, there's a guy outside of you, and you're in the back of the corner. Don't stand there. Or get trapped.
You'll take your
How many what games are you doing? How many kills?
Like, for me,
No, how many kills do you have that game?
oh, my brother got
No.
How? See that?
He was like,
So what you're gonna do
Another
is
two.
you're gonna start off
Oh,
with
that's
a
what
water
it is.
and you're probably gonna want to freeze your cup overnight, and then bring it to school and put it in the freezer.
Sad.
No, I'm not. We're using. I need to.
I have
And then when you take your cup out of the fridge, you bring it into the classroom. This is really cool for an extended period.
I
While you're at school, you're gonna put it
Yeah, Derek said you got like a second. Yeah, he said you like. Wait, didn't it? He said, didn't you win a
Put the
solo
hot water
duel?
in this, it stays out.
Or was it a solo?
And then we cover this right up.
Start steaming. You're gonna take a bottle that has the lid cut off. You're gonna place it over
Yeah, this has been saved for 20
someone to
minutes.
collect
We don't like
steam. And then you can grab it with anything like a plate or something that has a flat bottom that's hard and wet. Why not put the cap on? Because the cap's not gonna get collected because it's not open enough.
Step 2.
Pour
hot.
Okay, we'll try this.
Pour hot water into. Pour hot water into it. Pour water. What? That's a perfect circle.
I'm yellow tired.
yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I like to have like
So you know how you
You have
go
a
to
mouse?
A&W and you order
like a laptop.
Yeah, an actual like laptop.
Is it really blurry?
Yeah.
It's not when it's late. It's not when it's not late.
You dip it in water.
Is it usually
Lately, it has been. Like yesterday when we were
Hot water in this. Okay.
Was your conversation on task?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you got?
So first we would gather all our materials. 2, get a bowl of warm water.
Hold on. Gather materials. What does this say?
Let's get. I had to erase it.
Okay, so get a bowl of warm water. Where are you gonna get the warm water?
It's kind of hard because there's like no warm water.
How did I heat up warm water in the past? No, do you
took
remember?
the
Coffee pot. So could we use the coffee pot again to heat up warm water?
Yeah.
So maybe you need to get bowl of warm water, but you need like heat up water in a coffee pot in between there.
Here, like gather materials and the
Heat up water in the coffee pot.
Yeah.
Cold water and the water and sweat.
They're adding that to this stuff. Okay, so place bowl of water in a Ziploc bag. How big do you think that bag's gonna have to be? How big's your bowl gonna be?
I don't know. We should get like one of those freezer bags.
Yeah, I can.
Like
I
a
can
gallon
bring that.
size? I have gallon size bags.
Okay.
Okay, so that'll work. And I've got a variety of different containers that you can use, so that won't be a problem. Okay, place heat lamp by bowl. Okay, and I assume I gotta turn the heat lamp on.
Yeah.
Add that, please. So when you have place heat lamp by water in Ziploc bag and turn on. And then what's this say?
Basically that bowl of water into
Hot water.
With heat lamp on. Okay, and did you have another step? Was that it? Okay, so question for you. How will you distinguish between the water in the bowl and the water on the Ziploc bag? Because accidents happen. How do you prove that it just didn't spill out?
Maybe we can just make we can have a deeper bowl. We don't have to put that much.
Yeah, but you know, like say you left it for a while and someone came stumbling along, and how can you prove without a doubt?
More water would be out. I know go to the stuff.
Probably not enough water to be able to tell that it's evaporated
We
out.
can put it up high.
Yeah, but I want fail proof. Check out your materials list on the board. Is there anything that you could do? Yeah. Because will food coloring evaporate up with the water? Nope. I don't think it will. So I think you'll get clear droplets. Yeah? Okay. Write those things in, please. And then you're good to go for the diagram.
Alright guys,
Should we do another step 5?
We'll do step. Or we'll do step 5. Do step 5. Do step 5.
Yeah.
And then put
numbers step by step. And then below that, you'll write it.
I said, my second is
Drop what?
like a little square.
come to the bottom of the and then saran wrap.
Okay. What question?
Well, it's over. We could do the bar graphs. Yeah, we're waiting for
Okay.
I was wondering.
What?
I thought you were But you're not. So you just want to like
Bone.
They're not so like a little butt. Like you just poke a little.
So it weighs it down.
Oh, but
So what's the first step? Fourth step?
You need my approval after you write your plan. I think they're trying to see if, so you don't want to ask me if it's okay. Is that
Yeah, Rowan. Wait, what did he say?
Okay. So Okay.
Marvel work.
I think now we're done with that. Hold on, we gotta put diagram underline it.
I've seen like Marvel.
What? I didn't say anything.
When I was
Right here.
Nope.
like 5 pound weight.
It's useless. Okay, so I think we need to put 2, then diagram.
6 steps.
And then now I need to go on. We already did 1, 0.5, 1, 2.
No, we don't, we have to get approval. Nia, we have to get approval of the diagram.
Wait.
We didn't know, so just start with the material list and teach us that, and then get approval.
Okay, so 3. Okay, so we need heat lamp.
Food coloring. Heat, electricity.
Because of condensation.
Warm water, coffee pot.
Wait, so hold on. Heat lamp, food coloring. You need Ziploc bag.
Gallons of
I think that's it. So what do you got?
I don't know.
Coffee pot. Do you have Ziploc bag?
Gallons. Oh, balls.
Oh yeah.
Alright, 6
That would be
steps.
important.
Yeah.
That's all we need. No.
Okay, you want to listen? Okay, you need coffee pots because it hot water and Yeti.
Okay.
How about just a container? Seal something.
Hey, Kirsten. Copy that.
I'm gonna experiment it.
Okay, cool.
No, yeah, we're done. We're
Okay.
done.
Talk through that and write it down. Who needs me? You guys got a plan? Yep. Right there.
Yeah.
We're gonna need a. Okay. Pause. Two steps. Sure.
Yeah, do
We're gonna do steps. So the directions were y'all would write the same thing. And it's 3 steps. Fix it. Okay.
You want to see the diagram?
Nope, you're set to move on. Okay. Got it?
Now let's.
How are you collecting?
Yeah, let's see. I think we can. How do we could go like. We could kind of. We could do battleship it all.
Or we could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One day, first day, second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day. I mean, 10 days.
After 10 days, it would. Well, it depends on how long we're going to do it.
Let's just write, we can do one first day. We can skip 3 lines. Second day, skip 3 lines.
So we can.
I don't trust it.
So we can go like. So for day 1.
Do day 1
We
instead
might
of
as
first
well
day.
just wait.
Day 1, day 2.
And then you can do like amount of water.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna run out of time. Here's what I wanna talk about.
We got a number 4.
Okay? Tomorrow, you're gonna have about 15 minutes to finish all of these steps. So some of you haven't had this approved by me. Could you please get on board and get this done for the class tomorrow? Okay, so maybe your group can chat via email so that you get your stuff down. Okay? And then you can save the diagram materials. Listen. And then you can save the diagram materials list, how you will collect data for predict and the approval for tomorrow because you can accomplish that within 15 minutes. Clear?
Yeah.
All right. So we will spend 15 minutes on the rest of this, and that will give you half an hour to actually run the experiment. Is that clear?
Clear.
So if you're not done with this, I need you to talk to each other and get this handled. Ask yourself questions like, how do I tell the difference between the liquid in, this is for you, how do you tell the difference between the liquid in the container or whatever versus the condensation? Because we want to make sure, without a doubt, nothing's spilled. Your hint is in this. How do we make sure that we're not, eyes up here, this is for you. We want to make sure that we're not just dumping it into the bag or it splashed. Is that clear? Okay, stop that video. Do you have any questions? Okay.